Hey y'all, it's Alison Schwartz here. I'm an intern for the Dweez Island Conservancy, and today I'd love to show you all how to make a fun craft that is great for all ages if you love being creative and you love going outdoors. So the craft of today is a nature journal. So this is one that I made. You can have a bunch of papers inside for when you're going on walks and exploring the outdoors, and every time you encounter something cool or that you want to document, you can just draw it in your nature journal. I even added a little fun secret pocket to mine in the back, where if I ever find a leaf or a flower or something cool that I want to keep for later, I can put it in my little secret pocket. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make one like the one I did. Let's get going. So the main materials that you need are a piece of cardboard, a few sheets of paper, a ruler or anything with a straight edge, a pair of scissors, a hole puncher, a rubber band, and a small enough envelope to fit inside your journal, and a stick that is the length of your journal. If you don't have thick cardboard, you can use thin cardboard like from a cereal box. And if you want to recycle paper instead of using new paper, I cut out some sheets from a Trader Joe's bags as one of my options. Also, if you don't have a small enough envelope, you can use a brown paper bag, and I will show you how to do that. You want to make sure that the length of your journal is the same length as the stick that you picked out. So once you measure the stick up against your cardboard, make a mark as to how long you want your journal to be, and then the width can be however wide you prefer. You cut that rectangle out and this will be your cover. You're then going to take a few sheets of paper, I chose 4, and you're going to cut them so that they are the same length as the rectangle that you just cut out. So the cardboard rectangle is going to be your cover, and then the papers are going to go inside. So once the paper and the cardboard are the same size, you're going to fold the paper in half, and what you're going to do with that is use it to mark the center of that cardboard piece. So just draw a line where the center point meets the paper. And then the next part requires scissors and is a bit tricky, so if you require an adult assistance, please ask for help. You're going to lightly cut the cardboard so that you don't go all the way through, but just so that it's easier to fold the cardboard in half in that center line. Once you do that, you've made the spine of your journal. So the next part is to cut 2 holes out. They're going to have to be about 1 inch from the top and the spine of your journal. If you make them too close to the edge, you're going to rip your journal, so you want to make sure that they are far enough away from the edges. So you just want to poke with a sharp object, so I use a screwdriver, but you can use a pair of scissors, that first layer of cardboard, and then use a pencil or a pen to go all the way through. And then you're going to use that pencil to mark on the other side where those holes should be, just to make sure that they are even, and do the same process on that side. So then once you do that, you can just peel off any of those excess pieces of cardboard that you see. So the next part is going to be cutting out holes in the paper itself. So you can just use the holes that you just made in the cardboard to mark where you want to use your hole puncher on your paper. My hole puncher is in the shape of clovers, so that's fun. Once you're done hole punching, you can set the paper aside and use some time to decorate the cover of your journal. If you have a small envelope, you can simply tape it to the inside of the back flap. If you don't have a small envelope, I like to make them out of brown paper bags. So you just cut the top of the paper bag off, leaving only the bottom part. You then take that bottom part of the paper bag that has a little bit extra on the top, and you fold that over. That's the top of your envelope. Then when you put the paper bag on the inside back flap, you just want to tape down the bottom part. So you can see how when I lift it up, I'm just taping down the bottom part of the paper bag. So the base is being taped to the cover. That way, when I open it up, I have a nice pocket that I can keep lots of things in, and then fold it over nicely in the back of my journal. The next step requires a rubber band that is pretty loose. So if you don't have a big one, make sure you find one that is pretty stretched out. It'll make this a lot easier. You're going to weave the rubber band through the back hole of the flap, then through the papers, and then through the front flap. You then want to wrap it around the stick. Since mine is a pretty big rubber band, I double looped mine around the stick. You then take the other end of the rubber band and do the same thing on the bottom portion. So weave it through the back flap, and then through the papers, and finally through the front flap. Once you've got it all the way through, you're going to put it around the other end of the stick. Again, I had to double loop mine because it is a very big rubber band, but you might not have to. And there you have it. Here's your nature journal. Another fun idea is I like to put some wildlife tracks on the back of mine so that if I'm walking through nature, I can always have a guide to what I'm looking at. And here's an example of a journal that I made with the cereal box and the Trader Joe's bag. So here's just a great example of how to reuse some of the materials that you already have, which is better for the environment. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing what cool journals you make. So please send in pictures to the Dewey's Island Conservancy Facebook group.